Well, hello there, my name is Sydney and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you about 10 easy and affordable or free, mostly free, ways that you can raise your vibration and boost your mood and just make your dominant feelings good. So yes, this year has definitely been challenging for me, and I know it's been challenging for everybody as a whole, and it's been hard for me to stay focused, to stay positive and really grounded and determined to reach my goals. I know how hard it can be to feel like there's anything, like you don't know what to look forward to. We don't know what the next year looks like, so it's just been heavy. I like to incorporate these things into my day-to-day routines. I don't do every single one every single day, but these are things that I use or do often. So let's just get into it. So the first thing that I would recommend to raise your vibration is to meditate. I personally like to meditate every day. I think it's a really good way to start or end your day, but you can obviously do it anytime. I find it to be very powerful in the morning and before bed, but literally whenever it fits into my schedule, I will do so. I would just recommend starting off at maybe 5 minutes or even 3 minutes a day, even just 3 deep breaths if that's, where you're starting. And I personally go up 10 to 30 minutes a day. Sometimes I can do longer, like an hour, but it just kind of depends. It's never meant to be something that's forced. It's more so just a special time to connect with yourself, to let go of any negativity and clear your mind, ease yourself of a little bit of the chatter that's going on in your brain. So it's very beneficial. Number 2 is connecting your mind and your body. So obviously exercising is a way to do so. Maybe yoga, maybe qigong, some type of energy work. Other things that I like to do is sit in a sauna. Infrared saunas in particular are really nice. They heat you from the inside out, so it's very detoxing and very relaxing as well. It's a little bit of a challenge too, so I think that kind of challenging your body is a really cool way to kind of just connect, and it helps you get into more of a flowing state, more of a positive state. So another thing that you can do is cold therapy, cryotherapy. You can just jump in the ocean, you could take a cold shower, or you could go to a cryotherapy studio, which will give you a session of below 0 temperatures. It's safe and all that stuff. Definitely do your research, but it is a challenge for the body and the mind. It's a typically 3-minute challenge, and sends your body into flight or fight mode, but once you step out and you warm back up, you're actually very relaxed and pretty much reset. Your whole system gets kind of reset. So I think any type of way that you're challenging your body in a healthy way is a really good way to kind of change the state you're in and just boost your mood, boost your health. Another thing is dancing. That's also a really fun way to lift your spirits and just move energy. The third thing that you can do to raise your vibration is make sure the space around you feels good for you. Now this is just pretty much going to be based on your own personal preference, but I love having a clean space. I love decorating my space and making it somewhat of a theme, buying cute pillows or something that's aesthetically pleasing. I just personally really love aesthetics, but also scent, sound, light, and things like that can really affect your mood. So I just recommend making your spaces comforting and just peaceful for you, not boring or stressful. So some people might not be a clean freak like I am, but just having photos of people you love around you, or maybe having flowers out, or opening the window and letting the light in, or maybe just getting a cool light that you enjoy, like a starry night light or something like that. All those things, even candles, can really affect your mood, and I think it's important that wherever you're at, if you spend most of your time in the office, in the car, or in your room, I think it's important to do little things to make it feel good. The fourth thing is related to nature. So pretty much going out in nature is a really good way to boost your mood. I personally just have a really soft, sweet spot for nature, so maybe I'm just kind of biased, but I believe that we are all one with nature and earth, and so I love connecting and just taking in the sights and the sounds and everything like that. So going on walks, or even grounding, which is walking or standing barefoot on grass or dirt, natural earth, just not concrete or anything like that. It can help you connect to the earth, and there's actually studies that show that it can help calibrate your energy to basically be more balanced. The earth can take some of the excess energy from you and replace it with more balance. So it's called grounding or earthing if you've never heard of it. And another thing is sun gazing, or just being in the sun. So I wouldn't recommend sun gazing to people that are unsure about it, or maybe very, very sensitive, I guess, to the sun. Although I'm sensitive to the sun and I do it, I don't want to recommend anyone anything that can affect their health or anything, but looking at the sun for a couple seconds at a time helps you gain a little bit of clarity and energy as well. The sun gives the earth life, so taking it in is an okay thing. Obviously, you don't want to get sunburnt, you don't want to stare at the sun for hours or anything like that. You want to be safe, but if you spend time in the first hour that the sun rises, or the last hour that the sun is setting, it is safe to be out in the sun. And I would recommend maybe not wearing the sunglasses and all that, but obviously if you're going to be in the sun all day long, bring a hat, bring glasses, bring sunscreen. There was also some type of study that I heard about. I don't know if I'll be able to source it, but it was like from a podcast where somebody studied that if you just let the sun kind of hit your eyes in the morning, that you're in a better mood. So it's really interesting. So on my way to work in the morning, I will crack my window and let the sun shine, and I don't know if it's just me, the music, or that, but I usually don't have road rage, and I usually am just enjoying my drive in the morning. So is it the sun? Maybe. The fifth thing that you can do to raise your vibration is use crystals. So crystals are rocks, gems from the earth, and they are very beautiful. They come in all different colors and kind of like different gradients and different patterns, for lack of a better word. I'm not an expert. I do not have the right verbiage and vocab to give you all the good info. These rocks contain a certain vibrational energy that can help you tap in to that energy. So I believe that we're all capable of kind of tapping in with whatever we want. We can feel whatever we really want to feel, or harness whatever we really want to harness, but crystals can just kind of help amplify that, or help you out if you are struggling a little bit. So I also think that they're very beautiful, so I like to use them as decor, but I also like to just have them with me. Sometimes certain colors or certain stones just call out to me, and I'll just kind of hold one for a little bit, meditate with one, or maybe just have one by my bed, or maybe take one with me and put it in my purse. This is kind of a, spiritual mindset type of thing, but I personally love crystals. Number 6 is chakra work. So this is also kind of on that more spiritual, esoteric vibe. But we have 7 main chakras in our body, which are different channels of energy, and there are other chakras in our body, but I'm more well versed in the 7 main ones of the body. So they can affect different aspects of our lives. So I think that if you're one that is into it, doing different types of work with your chakras can be very helpful. If you're blocked in one, you might have blockages or imbalances in other ones. I would have to make a whole other video to even really get to be able to give any real good info. I would just definitely recommend checking into it. I'll probably make a video, but you can listen to certain frequency sounds, eat certain color foods, wear certain color clothes, and just those types of things can help balance you. So it's an interesting, different way to work on yourself. Number 7 is art, any type of art. I think that we are all artists and creators, so whatever you enjoy doing, I think you should do it more often, whether that's writing, drawing, cooking, swimming, athletics, makeup, construction, language, making perfumes, like whatever it is. I think that tapping in with our passions and doing and creating is such a vibration raiser. It's gonna get you into a state that some people call the flow state, and it just makes pretty much you become very present with the moment, and that's pretty much everything in life. Just doing something without there having to be an outcome is a really like special moment that I don't think much of us have enough of. I feel like we always do things because we want this end result, but sometimes just creating for no reason is like so therapeutic. So yeah. Number 8, the 8th thing you can do to raise your vibration is journaling on a regular basis. So I personally think that writing is a really good way to get out your feelings and just your thoughts and emotions. So I like to journal on a regular basis. I don't every single day, but almost every day. I literally just write down anything that's on my mind. I don't make it super positive, I don't make it super negative. I just talk about whatever I have going on that morning for me. And sometimes I feel great, sometimes I feel nothing, sometimes I feel everything. So sometimes I write 1 sentence and sometimes I write 3 pages. But I think it's a really good way to let anything out, especially if you're still staying at home a lot. And I think it's a good way to kind of release some emotions because we have to. I also think that it's really cool to be able to look back on old journals and things like that. So especially this year, a few months from now, you can look back and see, okay, I'm still dealing with this, or I worked past that, cool, or ooh, I still never got past that. I think it's really important to be able to kind of reflect. So journaling. And the 9th thing that you can do to raise your vibration is be more picky with your media and maybe even step away from the media. I personally think that the media can be very negative and toxic for us. We have the power to choose what we look at, what we learn about, what we read and see online every day, but then at the same time we don't. There's still always going to be other opinions, other pictures of things that maybe you didn't choose to see, whatever, and it's very hard to not get upset, to not compare yourself, and to not feel a little bit low if you don't feel good and you're just looking at people's highlights. First, I would recommend maybe just taking 1 day a week or 1 day a month or 1 day a year, whatever works for you, to just not go on social media. Just see how you feel for a day. A lot of people have been doing this from what I've seen online, and people have really good results. I personally took about 6 months off any social media. It was about 2 years ago. It definitely made me care so much less about social media and all that stuff. And it was very refreshing. Maybe limiting your time. Another thing to do, or maybe challenge yourself with, is just maybe in the morning trying not to go on your phone. Typically I want to go on my phone when I wake up, but I feel so much better when I don't, and when I like just get my coffee, brush my teeth, make my bed, journal a little bit, look at my daily planner, and then maybe check it, check it later, check it at noon. Limiting your time can be very helpful. And also limiting your time can also just free up your time, so you end up doing other things instead of just looking at your phone. I also think that who you follow is really important. I think that we should follow people that make us feel good, not people that we find ourselves feeling low when they post, or feeling ourselves comparing when they post, or maybe just feeling alienated in any way. Go follow hashtags that you enjoy. Go follow creators that create really good content. When it comes to watching TV, I am a lover of murder mysteries, true crime. It's a challenge, but I do what I can to avoid binging those shows at night, and even in general, but it still happens sometimes. But I would recommend you try to be a little bit mindful, at least pay attention to what you watch, and try to watch comedy a little bit more often, or at least at night, watch something a little bit more lighter, or maybe don't watch TV at all. But that's kind of a challenge, I'm not gonna lie. I haven't mastered that yet. And then the last thing, the 10th thing that you can do to raise your vibration, is something that I'm also not an expert at. I'm definitely making mistakes every single day, but eating whole, real, good, healthy foods. We are what we eat. As much as I wish we weren't, we are what we eat. So certain foods do carry a very low vibration. So when you eat it, it's gonna kind of be inside of you, and it might stay inside of you. It might exit you, but it might integrate inside your cells as well. So being mindful of what you eat can really affect your vibration. Like I keep saying, I'm not perfect or an expert, but there are foods that have just been proven to be a low vibration. Those foods include processed foods, some meats, and dairy products, because animal products might involve some trauma, they might involve neglect, they might be getting fed hormones and antibiotics and just not living the life that they should be living. When they die, there could be trauma there. And even if it's the most ethical as they possibly can make it, it still is what it is. I'm not vegan or anything, but I just really do agree we need to make sure that we are treating our farms and our crops right and not cutting corners to profit. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of affordable foods, processed foods, and animal product foods have to do with. So I'm just going to name a few foods that are known to be very high vibrational. They're pretty much healthy foods that you hear about all the time, but I just wanted to share a few. Vegetables, fruits, herbs, spices, teas, and fermented foods. I wanted to just name 4 emotions that you can focus on to also raise your vibration, because honestly, what you focus on is kind of what you get out of life. So at the end of the day, what matters is like what you're thinking about and how you feel inside. So I think it's really important to focus on gratitude, being grateful for everything you have, and noticing what you have instead of ignoring what you have and only thinking about what you lack. Also forgiveness, forgiving ourselves and forgiving others. When we don't forgive, we are just carrying a really heavy burden, and we don't need that. So forgiving others and just ourselves is really important, and a really important step to finding real peace. 3 is generosity. When you give, you're receiving. It feels good to give. It feels good to give your time, your service, or your belongings, whatever you can. It's like you're not really getting anything in return besides this feeling of love. And the last one is love. So focusing on love. Love is all we need at the end of the day. Love is kind of where the basis of all goodness and fairness and equality and happiness and coexisting, that's like the root of it all, is with love. So focusing on those things, and love especially, can hopefully help us to make the world a better place, and obviously just make our lives a better life. Please make sure that you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and you want to see more videos, and make sure that you also subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on any. I'm sending you all the love and all the good vibes, and I'll catch you in my next one. Peace out. Bye.